Hey everyone, it's the end of another month. It is the end of April and we know what that means. It is time to go over all the games I played in the month of April since we are finally finished moving house and back onto a normal stream schedule. We were actually able to finish a lot of games, so let's go through them real quick. Firstly, we finally finished playing this GameCube classic, Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem. This one has been a long time in the making. We were supposed to play it back in November and then that didn't end up happening, and we started it I think it was January or February, and stuff just kept happening and we could never actually finish it, but it's done. This is a GameCube exclusive survival horror game and it is actually a really cool game and a really cool concept. Kind of Alone in the Dark style, you play as a girl whose uncle, I believe, has died mysteriously, and you go to his house to investigate and find out he's been dabbling in some dark magic, and you find the Tome of Darkness, and as you read back through the chapters, you play as the different characters in each chapter as they were fighting the darkness, and in each chapter, as you uncover new items and puzzle solutions, you go back to Alex at the end of each chapter and get to use those new solutions and the new magic spells you find to open up more areas in the mansion. Eternal Darkness for me is a 6 out of 10. It's a super cool game and I did really enjoy it. I just found it a little bit difficult at points. Some of the puzzles I got stuck on for a little bit. I had to use a walkthrough quite a bit for this game. I think part of that being there's just so many magic spells that have so many different abilities and situations you can use them in. I just got a little stuck sometimes, so that's why it's not higher, but I do highly recommend this one. Next was the last of the Resident Evil spin-offs we're playing, and we had Operation Raccoon City, and this was indeed a game. Again, I want to give it credit for being a cool concept for a game. You play as the Umbrella operatives that are sent into Raccoon City during the events of Resident Evil 2 to try and contain the outbreak before they nuked the city. So you get some cool backstory in there, which is really neat, but it's not a great game. For me, it actually gets a 5 out of 10. We struggled with this game a bit. It was quite buggy and quite glitchy. The first mission alone, I died like almost 10 times just because I kept getting stuck on walls and stuff. And it just feels really clunky and uncomfortable to control as well. I didn't have a fantastic time actually playing the game, but I think it's cool overall. Next, after many years, I played my first ever Bendy game. We played Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I really liked this game. I was a little worried with how I'd do. It's one of those stealth games where you can't fight back the monsters and you solve a lot of puzzles, kind of Amnesia-like. And I had a hard time with Amnesia, so I was worried how I'd go with this one. But I actually found it a lot easier. I think I only had to look up walkthroughs a couple times, and it was mostly just because I didn't see something. The actual puzzle solutions were quite fun and not too difficult. And the game, again, really cool concept. I'm giving the Ink Machine a 7 out of 10. I think the art style is really cool, and I can tell that the story and lore of this universe is also really fascinating. And I think the character designs are also really cool. This game actually made me listen to the audio logs that were lying around, which is usually something I skip, so I definitely enjoyed this one. And then because we enjoyed Bendy so much, we went and played some of the spin-offs. We played Boris and the Dark Survival. You play as this side character from the Bendy games, Boris, and it is a dungeon crawler. This one's a 5 out of 10. The only reason it's so low is because it's kind of simple. It's a randomized dungeon crawler. You go down your little elevator from Boris's hideout into the factory, and each level is randomly generated, and you have to run around and find a certain amount of items with the ink demon stalking you while you're doing that. We didn't finish this one because apparently there isn't really a finish. This game's like technically infinite, which is another reason why it's ranked kind of low. But honestly, I actually enjoyed myself. I'm starting to think that maybe I'm a dungeon crawler person because I had fun with it. And the second spin-off we played was Bendy's Secrets of the Machine. This one gets a 4 out of 10, not necessarily because it's bad, just because I don't even really know if I can call it a game. It took us like 30 or 40 minutes. It's essentially just walking around and solving mini puzzles that give you Easter eggs into the Bendy universe. So it doesn't really have much of a plot or story. It's basically just looking around and being like, huh, cool poster. There was a little bit of lore that I think maybe I'll understand more when I play the other Bendy games. And I mean, it was also free to download, so I don't know what else you can expect, but it was fine. And that was our month. So there was definitely a lot of fun and interesting games this month. We finally got to finish off some games that have been on the list for a while, so that was exciting. And I have a couple other things planned for May as well. Hopefully I can catch you there. Bye!